Welcome, everyone. This is a short introductory video to Agent AI. Before we get into showing you Agent AI, it's probably useful to just talk about what an agent is. Think of an agent as a digital worker. Um, you can basically hire it to do a certain task. And so let's say an example of a task is you want to research a particular topic for a particular class that you are taking. Um, so today, the way you would do it is you would use things like Google, search the web, maybe read some papers, find some PDFs, and then form a point of view and then write the research paper. Instead, when we are talking about agents, think about agents as a digital worker that can do exactly the same thing. The way it works is it takes an input. And so in this case, the input would be the topic. Then it would go and collect data. That's usually the second step. And this data would be either searching Google, reading a paper, uh, finding PDFs, stuff like that. And then after that, it will process that using AI and then it'll generate an output. So, in a very simplistic term, that is what an agent is. And so, now that you know that, if you get into Agent AI, when you go to Agent AI, if you click on Agent Builder, and we're going to show you how you can build an agent using Agent AI, you go click Create Agent. And you can either choose a particular template. I usually like to start from scratch just to show you. You give a name to your agent, and let's say I'm going to call it Topic Researcher. You can give a description, you can give a demo, you can kind of give a name to your agent. And let's say I call it Topic Researcher. You can choose an icon for this particular agent. You can share the visibility. Um, and then after that, there is a trigger. How do you want to run this agent? And so let's keep it to manual. But actions is where most of the work happens. And so if you go back to the example I was giving you, I'm going to take as input. So you'll see the first tab here is input, and I can get user input. I could get the input as a list, as a file. Um, but for now, just simplistically, I'm going to get an input as text, and I'm going to say enter a topic. And then I'm going to just call this, let's say topic is the output. I usually like to call all my outputs without underscore. So that's it. So I've now captured the input. Then let's say I want to now go get some data. And so the data I'm going to get is I want to do some Google search about this particular topic. So then I'm going to go click on another add action. And then here now you'll notice the next thing is to get data. And Agent AI has many types of data that you can get. You can get Blue Sky, you can get company data, you can get LinkedIn data for a particular person, you can get Instagram data. And so these are all various tools that Agent AI provides. But in our case, we want to go search. So I'm going to go to the search results and I'm going to Google search. And the query, I'm just going to enter the topic. And here I'm going to pass that topic as a variable. And so I say out underscore topic, I'm going to pass it. Um, and then let's say I want to get like 5 posts. And then I'm going to call this out underscore search. And so now what has happened so far is I'll enter a topic, then we'll go do a Google search, find the first 5 topics, and then the next thing then is I want to now process this. So I'll add another action, and now here I'm going to use the use AI, and I'm going to use Gen AI. I can choose an LLM. By default, it goes to 4.1. We can just leave it. There are many other large language models you could use. And I'm basically going to tell it that, and here's where you write your prompt. I am passing you the output of a search on a particular topic. And let's say I call this Google search results. I would like you to review this and write a detailed summary. And this is, again, this is where the processing happens. I'm hoping most of you know what prompt engineering is, but this is where you give a prompt to this stuff. Now, the one thing I need to do is I need to pass it the search results. And so I'm just going to go click and I'm going to say out underscore search. So this is where the variable comes in. And then I'm going to say out underscore research. And so it's a very simple 3-step process. I take a topic, I go search on Google for that particular topic, take the first 5 results, pass it to an LLM with a prompt to go generate research. And then the last step, I'm going to then go create an output and I'm going to say show user output. And this is going to be research. And then I'm going to just add the variable. And that's it. This is my very simple agent that I've built. I can now publish my agent. And once it's done, I can click run. And you'll notice here, it'll come up, it'll ask me for a topic. And let's say my topic is generative AI. This agent will now go run. So what it is going to do is, and if I look at it here, first it got the input, now it's going to get the search results. And so you'll see it went and it searched Google and it came back with search results. And then you can also go and see the outputs of that. And so if you wanted to see what the search result looks like, so this is what it is. This is generative AI. There are over 3.6 million, blah, blah, blah. But then after that, it went and then it processed it and then generated an output. And so here we go, look at it. Detailed summary of my generative AI gives you an overview and then key points from the top sources. These were the 5 sources that it came back with. Hopefully, this gives you an idea of how to build a very simple agent. Remember, agents are digital workers. They take an input, they go get data related to the work that they need to do. Then they process that using a large language model where you use prompts to go do that, and then it generates an output which you can then print. Thank you. Hopefully, this is a quick explanation that you find useful.